Tim Burton. Whenever you're in the Halloween season, you can never go wrong with a Tim Burton film. He is known to make some of the best films to watch during this time. From the Beetlejuice film, to Edward's hands, to even his Netflix series when Wednesday. He's also no stranger to the realm of animation. And where he was able to make 2 stop-motion animation films. Well, technically 3 if you count The Nightmare Before Christmas. But since that was just a film where Tim came up with the idea of it, and Henry Selick was the actual director of it, I count it more as a Henry Selick film than a Tim Burton film. Anyway, the 2 he did direct was 2005's Corpse Bride, and the subject of today's video, the 2012 Frankenweenie, which was actually based off a short film he made back in the 80s with Disney. So it makes sense, and that Tim would want to take that short and turn it into a stop-motion animated feature. I've heard a lot of things about it, saying that even if it's not one of Tim's best films, it is still a decent feature. And I've honestly nearly think that it's one of Tim's most mediocre films. I watched it the other day and I just thought it was mediocre. There was some definitely good things I did like about it. But then there were others that do hold the film back. I'm going to start off with the film's best aspect, the animation. And one thing that Tim has done exceptionally well is the stop-motion animation in its films. It was already done really well with Nightmare Before Christmas, but then it was done really good with Corpse Bride, and I think he acted it with Frankenweenie. I really do like many aspects of the animation, especially how the film is given a noir filter. So I do like it because as it pays tribute to those classic horror B movies you get back in the day, and it does do a job of capturing the feel. I also really like the design. I know the kid is where they're all based off different figures in horror literature. From Dr. Frankenstein to got too many more. Or the character designs were easily the film's that element. But as for the animal designs, this is where the animation has the most fun. Of course, Sparky's the most also noticeable as the big stand, and as the main Frankenstein dog of the feature. However, but when the third act comes in and all the kids create that Frankenstein unlike pets, it's the designs that are given to them are highly creative. From a cat combined with bat, to sea monkeys, which are kind of like gremlins, to a turtle who's kind of like Godzilla, Little King Kong, and many more. Speaking of which, I'll say that at the climax, it's easily the film's best element. Where it takes advantage of all these different creature designs and does give a nice action finale to it. I also really do like the personalities of the psychic actors. The kid, it's Invictus class have some really good personality and enough to make me enjoy it. I like this one. I really like this one girl who has the creepy expression, but I've seen an epic cat app who's out the letter of one of her classmates last night. It means something big, either good or bad, is going to happen. And that was honestly hilarious. But yeah, however, while the film does do a good job of making me care about the classmates in Victor's classroom, it doesn't do a good job of making me care much for Victor himself. He's just the typical outcast role you get at a mini Tim Burton film. Films where there's not much going on for him. The same thing we kind of said with Sparky, where he's just a dog of what acts life. I also really didn't care much for any of the adults in the film. Like Tim's parent, or their next door neighbour, who was the man. Who honestly confused me, because if he's the man, shouldn't he have a bit even more of a higher class house than living right next door, or to a slightly lower class as protagonist? I'm getting off track. Also, so the film's Asen really does hold this one back. I admit the film does have a decent story about a man that just wants to bring his dog back to life. I think that, and all the other kids get inspired and want to do the same thing. And however, the pacing really holds us back. It takes too long for Sparky to actually get killed. Then it takes a little bit longer to come up with the idea. Yeah, and then it takes even more or longer for all the other classmates to come up with the idea of making their own Frankenstein like animals. As a result, it does make the film drag on. But I was constantly feeling like I had to check one time to see how much was left. For the feature. Also, while I did say the film has an exciting climax, and the ending afterwards has left a lot to be desired. This is where the film quickly ease up with Sparky dies again, and I think when tells Victor that instead of grieving, being like he did early in the film, they said, you know what, we'll help you in your dad or back to life, which I do feel like was a bit right, and I think it would have been better if they just left Sparky there, so it could have a good message about letting go. After a loved one died. I also, as soon as they managed to bring Sparky back to life, the film just ends. Like they bring Sparky back to life, and the film just rolls into the credits. So yeah. As you can tell, I think Frankenweenie is easily one of Tim Burton's most mediocre films. There are definitely some good things about it, like the amazing animation, and great supporting roles with the class, as well as some good voice acting, and a fantastic score. But everything else does hold this film back for me. I haven't watched all of Tim Burton's films, so I can't really say if it's his work. I want. Because it's definitely not. But I do think this film could have been better if they improved the story, the main characters, and the overall pacing, as well as the ending of the feature. Because this could have been one of Tim's best films. I guess this is a good watch for anyone looking for something to put them into the Halloween spirit. But you're not going to miss much if you choose to skip this one. It's debatable if this is Tim's worst experiment, but it's easily one of his most mediocre, and that's why I'm just giving this film a 6 out of 10. This could be a controversial take, I know, but it's just how I felt when watching the film. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!